to give health care to each other. Now, we've only done part of the solution. We've only given it to people who are 65 and older, but we would save an awful lot of money, get much better care, and have everybody in and nobody out if we drop that number to 0. So at this time, I'd like to introduce a real force of nature, Sue Saltmarsh.
Wow, looking out at you today, I see the people who are going to usher in a new era of healthcare activism. I see the people who aren't going to accept defeat without even trying to win. I see the people who are going to vote knowledgeably, fire the politicians who line their own pockets, and hire ones who actually work for the interests of their constituents.
Oh yeah!
That was my sister.
That's my sister!
I see the sick, the poor, the elderly, people of different races, religions, all the things that we humans tend to use to categorize, dehumanize, and divide each other. And I see us, this small group, coming together. This is not about the bottom line, although most people's bottom line, including the corporations, will benefit from single payer. Thank you! This is not about capitalism versus socialism, although we've let the opposition call it socialized medicine for way too long. This isn't about whether healthcare is a right or a privilege, though there are those of us who have fought long and hard to have it considered a right. This is about a basic human need, and we all need it. There are two issues that are everybody's issues: the environment and healthcare. Just as we need to breathe clean air, eat healthy food, drink clean water, we also need healthcare. Our bodies age, they weaken, they get more vulnerable, and sooner or later, no matter how fit you are to begin with, you're going to need access to healthcare. Today you'll hear different views and different stories from a great group of speakers. And I hope that they will inform you and inspire you and help you to realize that it's time to say enough is enough. We will not accept any more this injustice.
Yay!
But in addition to saying it to the billionaires and the corporations and the crooked politicians, we need to take the responsibility to say it to ourselves. We need to take this cause from talk to action. And just as Ann and Kathy were talking about, we need to do more of this. We need to get out into the streets. And the 1,000 people that signed up to register to attend this thing need to show up.
Yeah!
We've celebrated 50 years of payer health care, started 100 years ago. It has met defeat over and over again. It hasn't made the fastest progress. And I believe that this is the time for us to insist that our voice is present in the discussion of healthcare. We need to come out of the closet. People don't know there is a single healthcare movement. So I say, this is the time. Be inspired. Be fired up. And as you leave here today, you'll have some choices to make. Many of you have spent years, if not decades, advocating for single-payer health care. I urge you to think about embracing and educating a new generation of healthcare activists. Some of you are here because you've been victims of the current system. I encourage you to think of yourselves not as victims, but as empowered people who now belong to a tribe of empowered people who aren't going to take it anymore. Many of you think that, well, not you, but many of the American public thinks that politics have nothing to do with their lives. Yes, but I encourage them to think not in terms of politics don't mean anything to me, but to educate themselves about the people they vote for, the candidates they have to choose from, and vote for the person, not the party, that serves their interest best. Many of you have never thought of yourselves as being involved in a cause, or maybe even becoming activists. But I can tell you, as someone who came to this at the age of 52, being passionate and committed to healthcare justice is an exhausting and exhilarating thing. And I encourage everybody to experience it. So your choice is that you open your life and your world up to that kind of purpose, or you go home sweaty, tired, turn on the TV, and forget this day until you get that $1,000 hospital bill that your ACA insurance won't pay because you didn't meet your deductible. For me, and for the Healthcare Justice March team, for the many single-payer activists I've met on this journey, it comes down to this. No matter how many times we're told it's not the right time, or you're never going to get that law passed with this Congress, or the insurance company have billions and you have nothing, there's no way you can win. My answer to that is, we will not give in to pessimism, and we will not give up.
Woo!
And now I'm very honored to introduce somebody who also never gives up. I have to confess that I don't know much about the Green Party, except that I like where they stand on healthcare and many other things. And it was a really wonderful educational experience for me to Google Jill Stein, because I learned some pretty amazing things about her. She is here today in person, and we are so pleased and proud to have her. I will introduce Jill Stein, the Green Party's candidate for President of the United States.